In this video, I explain the hydroelectric power plant. So the hydroelectric power plant is the one of the method to produce electricity. So in hydroelectric power plant, no fuel is required to generate electricity. That is the one of the advantage in the hydroelectric power plant. And this is the layout of hydroelectric power stations. And the main component of hydroelectric stations are dam and reservoir, penstock, then valve house, surge tank, powerhouse. In powerhouse, both turbine and alternator accommodates. And finally, tail race. Okay. So I repeat, the major component of hydroelectric power stations are dam and reservoir, penstock, valve house, surge tank, powerhouse which accommodates both the turbine and alternator, and tail race. The first part is dam and reservoir. Okay. Dam is a civil structure which prevent the flow of water, or it store the water in the surrounding catchment area. So that catchment area is known as reservoir. Once the water is stored, it gets a head, or it gets some potential energy. And other element of the power plant is penstock. Penstock is nothing but it is a tube which connects between reservoir and powerhouse. The main objective of the penstock is to allow the water flow from the reservoir to the powerhouse. And penstock, normally in smaller hydro station, the size of penstock is small, like a small tube. But in a larger hydroelectric station, it looks like, say, a big tunnel. In Idiki, for example, Idiki hydro station, the penstock of Idiki hydro station, it looks like a big tunnel, and it long as kilometers. And next one is valve house or control valve. So the control valve or valve house is placed at the starting point of the penstock. The main objective of the control valve is to control the flow of water from the reservoir to powerhouse. So once we control the flow of water, we can control the electricity production from the hydro station. Once we can close or open the valve. And next one is powerhouse. So the powerhouse accommodates two components. One is turbine and one is alternator. In turbine, actually the water, in reservoir, the potential energy of water is existing. Once the water flows through the penstock, it gets converted into kinetic energy because it moves with a velocity. So it converted into kinetic energy, and this energy, this water applied to the turbine in the powerhouse. So at the turbine, the kinetic energy of water gets converted into mechanical energy, and alternator is also connected with the turbine, so that the alternator gets mechanical energy from the turbine and it produces the electricity. And remaining water which released to the river through the tail race. So that is the layout of or next one is surge tank. So surge tank is the one of the tank which is fitted in the penstock. So the main function of surge tank is to maintain a pressure in the penstock. So surge tank has a valve, and we can open or close the valve. So for maintaining the pressure in the penstock, we can control the valve of the surge tank, and we can release the water from the surge tank, or absorb the water to the surge tank. So the main function is to maintain the pressure level in the penstock. So these are the main parts: dam, tunnel and penstock, valve house, surge tank, powerhouse, tail race. So this is a schematic diagram of a hydroelectric power plant. So a civil structure, dam is there, and the water is stored behind the dam, that is reservoir, and this is a penstock. So this is the penstock. So penstock allows the water flows from reservoir to turbine, and in this turbine, the kinetic energy of the water converted into mechanical energy, and a alternator is connected uh, to a common shaft, and then the alternator generates electricity, and after hitting the water in turbine, the water released to the river. So this is known as tail race. And selection of site for hydroelectric power plant. So the main thing is availability of water. Okay, the availability of water, then storage of water. So we have enough storage capacity, or we have enough catchment area. Then head of the water, then accessibility or transportation facilities required. While we set up the hydroelectric power plant, we need to install heavy equipment, so the transportation facility is needed, and also the hydroelectric stations are located in hilly area, so we should design the transmission network or transmission infrastructure to transmit the generated power from the hydro station to the consumer side. So these are the main advantages of hydroelectric power plant. It require no fuel, because water is only thing we used in hydroelectric power plant, so no fuel is required, so that the fuel cost is zero, absolutely zero. Running cost is very less. Then it produces neat and clean energy, no pollution from the hydroelectric power plant, no smoke and ash. Then construction is simple and less maintenance, and simple technology, and robust and longer life. And the dam also purpose the irrigation and flood control. So after the generation of electricity, the released water we can use for irrigation purpose. And disadvantages of hydroelectric power plant are it require larger area. So the procurement of area or land is one of the drawback in hydroelectric power plant. So that more land means the capital cost become more. Then suppose the water is not available, means we cannot generate electricity. So the water availability which depends on the generation of electricity. Then it located in a hilly area, so we have to invest more for setting up a transmission infrastructure to transmit these generated power from the hydro stations to consumer side. Thank you.